Jai Bhim friends, welcome to the Ambedkar Age series of videos. In this series, Roundtable India aims to produce documentaries, talks, interviews on contemporary issues and debates from a Dalit Bahujan perspective. In this latest episode of Ambedkar Age, we talk to Advocate Mahendra Jadhav, human rights activist and Vice President Samata Sainik South India. Welcome to Ambedkar Age, Mahendra.
Thanks, sir.
How would you describe your activist journey? You have been telling me it's over 17 years long, but you seem to be only in your early 30s. How did all this start?
It all started from my childhood only, Dada. Since I belong to the family who is actively involved in Ambedkarite movement, so this has come through hereditary, I feel. Right from my childhood, I used to attend the programs, camps, and in my home also, my father used to conduct several programs on Baba Saheb Ambedkar and Buddhism. So that has inculcated in my mind that I should do something, or I should learn, I should read, I should understand Baba Saheb and Buddha. It was in 2003 that I have been associated with Samata Sainik. I have learned the nuances of movement from this organization only. What is Ambedkarism? What is Buddhism? What the role should be of a youth? What he can contribute to the movement? What he should read? What he should write? How he should see the world? How he should see the Ambedkarite ideology? Because we have seen that there are many different understandings and perspectives towards the ideology and writings of Baba Saheb Ambedkar. This organization only follows the ideology of Baba Saheb and Buddha. So fortunately, I have understood Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar without any third frame. I could able to see Baba Saheb ideologically directly from the perspective of what he understood from the movement and what he thought of doing it for the society. So in that way, I started my journey in 2003 from this organization.
So tell us something about your family, your background, what motivated you?
My parents, one brother and one sister. My father is a retired railway employee. He took VRS in the year 2000. My mother is a homemaker. I have one brother. His name is Sandeep Jadhav. He is an optometrist. He is an eye specialist actually. I have one sister also. She is also a law graduate. She has done her masters. And my wife is also a lawyer cum company secretary. She works for a company.
You have been practicing a lawyer. You have also written books on the constitution and law. You have also been involved in human rights cases. What motivated you to take up law and also this focus on constitutional law?
I started learning that Baba Saheb was also a barrister and a law faculty, and through the law, through the understanding of law, he could be able to write the Constitution of India. So, and in the childhood also, we all, those who follow, those who admire Baba Saheb Ambedkar, they all speak a lot about Indian Constitution. And we all know today, if the India is being safeguarded, that is through Indian Constitution. And I was told by my parents, by my kin, that Baba Saheb was a very well-known lawyer and a great thinker. So that made me to towards law. In fact, after my polytechnic, I took admission in aeronautical engineering. But that did not satisfy me, and I dropped that admission and I took admission in LLB. I wrote entrance. I got 64 states, 64th rank. In the year 2006, I came to Hyderabad for my law graduation.
Constitution seems to be of great interest to you. You have done your LLM on constitutional law. So please tell us, you also written a book on constitutional law. Could you tell us a little about the book?
So in the year 2014, I started one campaign with the name Nationwide Indian Constitution Awareness Campaign. In this campaign, I used to tell the Indian, I used to conduct workshops at different places. I conducted workshops in Telangana, Andhra, Maharashtra. In that workshop, I used to tell what are the fundamental rights of the citizen, how they can utilize it, how they have been come into the constitution, what is the importance of Indian constitution, why they are important for all the citizens, how we can utilize, how we can safeguard the violation of the fundamental rights, fundamental duties, how we can use the Right to Information Act, what is the procedure to be followed in the court, civil courts and criminal courts, what is the procedure to be followed in the police station, because a common man doesn't know all these things. He is busy, he is involved in his 3 times food. He doesn't have time to read the Indian Constitution, he doesn't have time to understand what are his fundamental rights. So I thought, since we respect the Indian Constitution, since the country runs on the Indian Constitution, and we have seen for the past 6 years, no constructive movement with respect to Indian Constitution has been run by any intellectual or thinker or writer, I felt it is my bounded duty to work in this regard. That's the reason why I started that campaign. And during that campaign, I used to conduct question hour also. During that question hour, there were many questions raised by the common people who used to attend the conference. So I thought it would be better to have a book with all those questions of a common man, what a common man wants to understand from the constitution. Because since I was conducting the workshops on ground level in villages and suburban places, and the questions were raised by the common man, I felt it is highly necessary to have a book kind of thing with those questions and my answers, my understanding about the Indian Constitution and what Baba Sahib wanted to give to the common man. Yeah. I felt that it is very necessary to have a book in those question and answer format, so that the Constitution can reach to the common man. This book has around 12 chapters. Each chapter deals with different sections. I have segregated all the articles. Take for example, even if I take out Indian Constitution and see, I don't know what article speaks about which section. Since India is divided in different sections, different castes, different communities, and Constitution speaks about each and every section of this society.
You mean just as SCs, STs, OBCs, yes. Minorities?
Yes.
So you have divided questions and the portions of the Constitution relevant to those.
Relevant to those sections. Take for example, there is a OBC.
Yeah.
Majority of the OBC has a negative perspective about Indian Constitution, that Indian Constitution does not give any rights to OBCs, they don't give any reservation to OBCs, they don't have any facilities, benefits under the Indian Constitution. But that is a wrong notion, I would say. Indian Constitution speaks about all the sections of Indian society, be it SC, be it ST, be it OBC, be it minority or any. So the last man of this country is been taken care by the Indian Constitution. So what I have done is, I have filtered all the sections from the Indian Constitution about the OBCs and filtered and made a separate chapter in this book. What specific article speaks about OBCs, so that they will also have a clarity that if Indian Constitution does not speak about my reservation, what are the articles speaks about my benefits. Many people say that only Article 340 speaks about their rights. It is not so. There are numerous articles which speaks about OBCs and their development. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar in Constituent Assembly, he clearly mentions backward classes. It is not specific to any section. It may be any backward classes. I have given his whole speech in this book, which defines who are the backward classes and what is the definition of backward classes. Before entering into the Constituent Assembly also, his only intention was to have certain rights for all the backward classes of India, irrespective of their social status. He was not. There is a serious allegation against Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar that he only did for scheduled caste people, his people only. That is a wrong notion. And to know what Babasaheb gave to all the citizens of India, they must read this book so that they will understand in brief what actually Babasaheb Ambedkar incorporated in Indian Constitution. So in that way, I have filtered the sections which specifically speaks about scheduled caste, articles which specifically speaks about scheduled tribes, articles which specifically speaks about minorities.
How did you manage to be an activist and also a student and also take care of your needs? Could you share some experiences of your activism and
one major incident happened in 2006 December, when we conducted Manusmriti Dahan in Osmania University. That was one of the biggest programs in Osmania University.
In 2010?
In 2006.
Okay.
In 2006. Before that, the university organization used to conduct a small program at their level, burning of Manusmriti. But in 2006, we conducted a huge program with the gathering of around 3,000 to 4,000 students before the Arts College. Immediately after that program, few AVP guys came and they begged the students entering into their room. After that, the situation went so seriously that Section 144 was imposed by the state machinery for 3 long days. It was a situation like hell. We fought the situation very strongly and ultimately came as a winner in that situation also. We used to conduct different programs. One such program was the day when Babasaheb Ambedkar was thrown out from the Baroda Lodge. The day was 12th November 1918. Very few people know about that incident and that day. 12th November, we remember it as a inspirational day, because that day Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar took oath that if I do not do something for my people, I will shoot myself. So that was the turn, like Buddha when he got enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, and he had a question in his mind that whether I should go to the people and teach them what I have invented through my deep thinking, and then he commits that yes, I should go to the people and spread whatever knowledge I have gained through my deep thinking. In the same way, Babasaheb Ambedkar also sits in the Shivaji Park. He cries for 3 hours, literally cries 3 hours for his situation, and take a oath that if I could not do something for my people, I will shoot myself. That day, very people.
November 10,
November 12. November 12, 1918. So
that was from the Parsi owned lord.
Yes, Parsi. When he took a room in the name of Hedalji Sorabji, a fake name, but he was thrown out of that house. Very few people know about that day. Yeah. In fact, that is one of the major turning points in Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar's life. That day, people doesn't know. For the very first time, we conducted a seminar on that day in Osmania University.
So you studied in Hyderabad, first in Adilabad, and then you moved to Hyderabad for your law. You are not getting any financial support from family. You were working on your own.
Yes. I came to Hyderabad in 2006 with one single extra dress in my bag. I had no money. My father took VRS in the year 2000. Where his pension was very meager, and we were 3 siblings. It was very difficult to manage the family of 5 people, having around 1800 or 2000 pension. It was difficult for my parents to teach us. But my parents never allowed us to break the education and work for the livelihood. They always encouraged us to study. They always forced us to study because we had no other means. If we don't study, there is no other means for us. Yeah. And my parents, especially my mother, always encouraged us to study. For 4 years, I circulated newspapers. I used to wake up around 4:30, go to the agency, collect the newspapers, and distribute to the subscribers. LLB entrance examination fees also paid by my friend. His name, I still remember his name. His name is Saibra Erekar. He paid the 250 rupees application form fees for my LLB entrance. I got 64th state rank in my law entrance. I got admission in PG College of Law, Bashirbagh, which is in Bashirbagh Nizam College campus ground.
Yeah.
I came here with one single dress. I stayed in Usmania University as a non-boarder. I had no money to pay the room rents.
Yeah.
There was my friend called Papesh Bansode. He allowed me to stay in his room as a non-boarder without asking me to pay anything. I used to go to catering for my livelihood. I used to eat whatever the remains are there in caterings. And next day again college. I also did security guard job in one of the Philips showrooms in Old Boyingpalli.
How has your experience been of working for Dalit rights? So tell me how has been your practice in law working specifically for Dalit rights?
As we followed Babasaheb Ambedkar, I felt rather than opening a new organization or starting a new organization, why not work on the organizations which was already there, which was already established by the founder itself. So rather than opening a new organization, let us reform those organizations or try to give some time to re-establish them. So initially I faced problems there. As you know that there is very less study about these organizations. I had to communicate with them. I had to convince them about the importance of these organizations, how these organizations used to work in the past days. What is the ideology of these organizations, how they work, and what is the need in present time to reform these organizations so that we can move ahead the movement. Initially I faced problem, but now in Telangana, Andhra and Maharashtra, recently I have been to Karnataka state, where they have also shown the positive towards Samata Sandipamu.
You have been involved in the Rohit case right from August 2015 when the first rusticated the 5 students, Rohit, Prashant, Sunkarna and others. You are also a part of the legal team trying to support the students' case. Justice has not been rendered, neither Apara Pudile nor even the ABB student, nor Bandara Dattaraya, nor Smriti Irani. Action has been taken against no one, despite the stringent law of SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act being applied. So what do you think should happen now?
Our activists or our intellectuals have not taken care of the legal side very seriously. Right from their suspension in August 2015 till this moment, the cases are still running, and unfortunately, the Aparo Pudile is sitting in his university on his chair without any difficulty. The problem is, when we started this movement after their suspension, initially the mindset of the common people outside the university, since I was associated with that movement right from the beginning, there was no much interest for the university issues, because many people, since I stay outside and the issue was within the university, many people, many social activities thought that the issue is internal issue. On January 3rd, I met Prashant on 1st January for the celebration of Bhiva Koregaon Victory Day in Usmania University, where Prashant spoke about the glorious history of Bhiva Koregaon. We had an elaborate discussion on that and the suspension, ongoing suspension which was imposed by the university. And immediately after 2 days, it means on 1st January I met Prashant. On 3rd January they were thrown out of their rooms. In the evening I got photos from Prashant and other friends with their luggages in their hands, where we all have seen that Rohit is carrying Babasaheb portrait in his hands. So those photos were viral in the evening. I got those photos in the evening itself. On 6th January we met them. On 4th we met them. Samata Sainik people met them. And on 5th, we gave a call to all the social organizations to have a common march past in the university to raise the voice against these injustice caused by the university on these five students. On 6th January, there was a flag march conducted by Samata Sainik along with other social organizations in the university premises. It was a huge flag march conducted by all the social. Since then, it means up to January 6th, there was no common consensus in the social activists among the common people outside the university that this issue was against the social inequalities caused by the university. Since that time, it was understood that the issue is an internal issue and it is an issue between the student and administration. After that march, this issue came to common picture that issue came outside the university. And we have seen that after 11 days, Rohit committed suicide. I met Rohit on 11th January.
Okay.
We had a proper elaborate discussion on him. I remember that incident when Rohit was sleeping. I was discussing with Prashant. Rohit woke up, and one of the ABVP students came there. He was trying to pacify Rohit and Prashant. I was there. The discussion happened before me, and it was Rohit's words that why we should compromise. It's Rohit's word. Why we should compromise? We will not compromise. We will fight until the last day. We will fight until the justice is done to us. We want Aparav Kodile to be suspended for the illegal suspension imposed by this. So. After 6 days, I got news that Rohit committed around 3:30. He committed suicide, and 4 o'clock I got a call from Prashant that Rohit committed suicide in his room. So I was literally surprised. The guy who was very fearlessly speaking that we will fight until the last moment, until the justice is done to us. That guy, how can he commit suicide? But lately in the evening, our people went there. Next day, I went there. Everything was finished.
There was a lot of national and international attention, especially politicians from across India came over to University of Hyderabad to express solidarity and to join the protest. Everyone from Rahul Gandhi to politicians from West Bengal, from Assam, and, from Punjab, and even Arvind Kejriwal and all kinds of top politicians came over here. But there were serious charges of SC/ST, which in which SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act applied, like against Sushil Kumar, the AVP president, Aparav Kodile, the vice chancellor,
the minister
Bandaru Dattatreya. And so what happened? I mean, these are non-bailable charges. How did nothing happen until now?
I personally feel that any movement will go into dustbin when there is politics involved in it. We could have got justice in Rohit case also had the politician been not involved in this case. Politicians involved in any issue for their politics, for their vote bank, not for justice. We have seen in the past, we have seen the history that no politician can give you justice. All the politicians of this nation, they visited Hyderabad Central University, they gave voice, they spoke many big things, many promises. But as you know that they come for their politics, they come for their vote banks, they come to have a scoop, highlight on them. I don't think any politician can give justice to any social issues, and that has been done in Rohit case also. So far as the Rohit Act concerned, I don't expect anything from the other politicians, but I was expecting a common consensus on our politicians. At least they could have given a strong voice to enact Rohit Act. No politician spoke about it, and in fact I would say that maybe they doesn't know what Rohit Act actually speaks about. After the
you had prepared a draft.
Yes, I prepared a draft. I shared with many social activities, many writers also what that actually speaks about. I wrote that there should be some independent body like an ombudsman which will deal with this atrocities in educational institute. There should be a separate body which can deal with which will deal with these atrocities. They should take care of all these atrocities. They should investigate what that investigation body should do, what how that body should be consisted, who should be given the charge. What should be the ex gratia for the students who commit suicide, who are died out of these atrocities. There is very less official money given announced to Rohit. In that act, I have specifically spoken about the ex gratia. What should be that number? Who should be guiding that? What is the procedure? And also that act was defining what all the discriminations and happening in the educational. There is not only one discrimination.
Yeah.
Since the students belong to socially backward community, there are many discriminations. Discrimination is not just suspending you.
Yes.
There are many other discriminations.
Yes.
So that act was speaking about those different discriminations. The definitions of different discrimination and the punishments for different discriminations, what the punishment should be, what amount of punishment should be. Either it may be monetary punishment or the legal punishment. But no one spoke about it, no one wrote about it.
When we talk about the legal aspects of the whole situation, we find that the BJP and the Sanghis were much better prepared in their legal strategy. No, they went to the High Court after the August incident. They went to the High Court and then got the High Court to pass remarks so that the university could
Yes.
suspend the students.
Yes.
And as soon as the suspension happened, they had prepared a defense for the ministers and everyone. There were a huge team of lawyers present here in Hyderabad and in Delhi. I mean, this happens regularly. They have the better legal support.
Yes, certainly they have a very better legal team. I'll tell you one incident recently happened in Maharashtra out of this context when one of the student was killed in one Buddhist family was killed by Maratha community. All the Buddhist community rose against the Maratha community and they started agitating. They filed case in Mumbai High Court. Let me tell you that there were almost 60 to 70 team of lawyers representing Maratha community to defend themselves. And there were only 5 lawyers from our side. So see the amount of defense machinery mechanism they have with them. No doubt they have the largest legal support, more resources. It's not that we don't have resources. It's not that we don't have lawyers. It's not that we don't have thinkers. It's not that we don't have writers. The only thing which lacks among is unity and coordination.
The incidents at the University of Hyderabad only were the starting point. After that, a lot of fraternization happened across universities. It is being Sanskrit is being imposed in universities. Students are being segregated in hostels according to whether they eat vegetarian and non-vegetarian food. Even school students are being marked on caste lines, as in the recent case in Madhya Pradesh, where SC/ST students were given separate bags which mentioned their caste. So the Federation is very strong. How do we deal with this situation?
The only area I feel where we can get justice through courts and through constitutional machineries. Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar during his last speech, he clearly says that we should stop the method of satyagrahas and we should use the constitutional mechanism to get the justice. These morchas, these agitations, these get-outs, they are no doubt helpful in gaining the momentum in the movement, in the agitations. But they will not help you to get the justice. The justice will only be get through courts, through the constitutional machinery. And for that, I feel we should have the strongest machinery of legal luminaries who can help us, who can help the society from time to time.
Let's end with something on a positive note. You have revived or reformed Samata Sainik in South India, and you have also reformed People's Education Society. What do you plan to do with the People's Education Society?
Practically, there are no reservations.
Yeah.
In employment, in education, there are no education. But still, we have the impression that there are reservations.
Yes, at this moment, there are no new jobs coming.
There are no jobs. Even in educational institutions, you don't have proper education. In scheduled caste, there are 59 subcastes, and those subcastes are fighting.
In Telangana itself.
In Telangana itself, there are 59 subcastes. Those 59 subcastes are fighting within themselves. That you are getting higher seats, I am getting lesser benefits. They are fighting among themselves. So Baba Sahib doesn't wanted this. Baba Sahib was looking beyond these 15%. So we should also, as an Ambedkar, as a fellow follower of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, we should also think beyond those caste reservations. My efforts are towards this to enlighten people what are those rights. How we can come out of those 15% reservation mindset and think beyond it. We have, if we are successful to establish our own educational institutions, then we can have our own students in those. We can give them quality education, wherein if you have the quality reservation, you will not think about the 4% reserved seats in the educational institutions. You will think about the Supreme Court has given the guidelines of that the reservation should not cross 49.5%, and the 50% reservation is open for open category. Let us compete in the general category. Let us not think about those 15%. 15% means if there are 10 seats, 4 seats are for the scheduled caste. And for those 4 seats also there is huge competition. So let us think beyond that. I am thinking in that regard. If we are successful in establishing educational institution, and that is what I am trying to do through People's Educational Society.
What you say about Buddhist minority rights also applies to Dalits within Christians and Muslims. They have not been recognized as such, but they can also start their own educational institutions and avail of other opportunities given to minorities. Because until now, the only education institutions started by the Christians and the Muslims are basically started by the upper caste. So this option should also be utilized by the Dalits within Christians and Muslims.
Let me tell you specifically about those 2 articles. Those 2 articles speaks openly about it. And those articles gives you the right to start your own educational institutions. Those articles give you the right to establish your own educational trust, religious trust. That article also give you the right to preach and protect your language, which is Pali as a Buddhist cultural language. And there are numerous educational employment benefits given under those articles, but no one knows about it. No one speaks about it. Basically, the main intention of starting this campaign is to enlighten the minorities.
Yes.
Because Article 20 and 30 speaks about minorities' right, and there are 6 different minorities in Indian society. So those articles applies to everyone. Why I am specifically speaking about Buddhist minorities? There is no representation of Buddhist minorities in Telugu states.
Yes.
So as a Buddhist, it is our duty to speak on it, to write on it, and see how we can get the benefits which are given by the constitution. See, after the Telangana government state was formed in 2014, immediately in 2015, since Muslims are 27% in Telangana, they have passed a GO. Telangana government passed a GO to conduct a survey to know the socio-economic religious conditions of Muslims in Telangana state. After the survey was conducted, it was directed to the state government that proper schemes should be implemented to develop the Muslim minorities through education, through religious, through political, be it any means. The state government should implement the schemes. So, being 0.5%, in the state population and a recognized minority by the Indian Constitution and National Minorities Commission Act 1992. Why we should not demand the state government to conduct a similar survey on for Buddhist also to get to know what is their socio-economic and political condition in the state of Telangana, and demand them to implement the similar schemes which are being implemented for Muslims and Christians. We can demand.
Now that you talk about Buddhists, one I'm reminded on the Telugu state, I'm reminded of Amaravati, which was actually ancient Buddhist capital.
That's right.
But it is now appropriated by the Brahmins.
Yes.
So, what do you think? There needs to be more awareness in Andhra also. This disconnection is not helping.
Yes. There should be more awareness, and as I told you, we need to work on ground level very seriously. Then only we can achieve something. Because since I am doing it on ground level, many calls are coming that we don't know these things. We don't know that Buddhists have these rights. We don't know that Buddhists can start their own educational institution. We don't know that Buddhists have educational rights. We don't know that Buddhists can start their own business and state funds that. We don't know all these things. I said there are many such things which are being given by Indian Constitution, hundreds of schemes every year. Let me tell you that for the 2016-17 year, the central government budget is for minorities 3,872 crores rupees only for minorities. To be specific, Telangana government have allocated 1,200 crores for minorities. Where does Buddhist stands? You can't stick to the caste. You can't stick to that 15% reservation which is being totally struck it off. There is no reservation at all. You have to think beyond it. See, look at Sikhs. Look at the Parsis, look at the Jains, they are also minorities. They don't have any reservation, but they are economically, socially very strong as compared to the other Buddhist minorities. Why we should not think in that line?
Yes, on that very positive note.
Yes.
Thank you very much for sharing your views with us and experiences. Wish you all the best on.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting.